some videos that are surfacing of Justin Bieber at a Diddy party, and they are horrific. I'm talking truly and utterly horrific. Justin is at Diddy's parties, and in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And so what I want to say to Justin Bieber and to everybody that's following the situation is that Justin Bieber is a victim. I was horrified when I saw this, not because of the idea that Justin Bieber would be engaged in these sorts of things at these parties, but because I understood that this was a kid who was intentionally targeted by Diddy, as the videos show, told that he wants to party with him. Justin Bieber didn't do that to himself. Like I said, Justin Bieber was, in my view, a child victim. And as these videos are circulating on the internet, I want to make sure people remember that and give him the grace as someone who has somehow survived this, turned to family, turned to faith, and is still very much struggling with all of this. For people to give him the grace and the courage and the prayers to hopefully one day find within himself the strength to speak out about what happened. Anyways, it seems to be that it is all falling down in Hollywood. We will continue to monitor that story, but I do encourage everybody to pray for Justin Bieber.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
Okay. Tell us why. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to traffic.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of. He's a piece of.
Too much money.
I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah, the board is here. I'm missing her. Yeah, the board is here.
Okay, so.
But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that song. I don't know why you lowering his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
You know why Puff's parties are so cool, man? Because you can't get into the party. It doesn't matter what the is going on in the party. Nothing cool is going on in the party. It's a party. But you can't, for some fucking reason, at his party, you can't get into his party. So now what do you want to do? Get into that man's party and see what the fuck all the hubbub's about. So right now I have a do not enter sign on Machine Gun Kelly.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Woke up this morning with a prayer in my heart that I want to share with you guys for us. So if y'all don't mind, just pray with me if you want to. God, please bless everybody in the sound of my voice. Please bless their health. Please bless their hearts, but most importantly, bless their mindsets. The mind is a dangerous thing. God, protect us from our mind, talking us out of our powers of manifesting anything that we want if we believe in you, even if it's not there, even if it looks like it's not going to come. God, please bless everyone's mind and know that you will always show up and you will show up on time. God, please bless everyone that has had a rough year. But bless us for the good days, the bad days, the days that we have experienced death, the days we've experienced life, loss,
I am crazy. Pray for the young people. You know what this is. It's not a game. And please understand very clearly, there is zero woosah moments, me talking about situations for over more than a decade and a half. And then all of a sudden everybody woke up like, whoa, yo, we thought you were crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm crazy to tell a mother on 3 forms of public transportation across a bridge to get to work to support me that, hey, I may have to pass on these opportunities for scholarships because I'm going to write a song and we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. That's crazy. But what I am not is a liar. That I'm not. All I did was give the science. I was ignored, laughed at, ridiculed, things of that nature. But that's okay. My God is so much bigger that my God got me. And I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French so good. Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No. Good. If you were seriously dating somebody, would you? Club? No. You have to get these margaritas out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah, but last night. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet. You haven't? I want to be Clay when I grow up, Court. Oh, you're just so little. Like my balls are just going. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it. Well, we met Chloe's new, crew of friends. No. Well, kind of. You did? Yeah. Stop talking. Have you met Chloe's new crew of friends? And all I said was, yes. And then I stopped. All I said was, yes.
Happiness, victory, however you give it to us, we want to give you thanks for 2020. 2020 has been an incredible year. 2020 has been a great year. Please bless us that in 2021, we're not the same that we was in 2020, that we have excelled, that we have gone to a higher frequency, a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of kindness, a higher level of self-love, to eat the right things and to take care of ourselves, a higher level of self-love, especially for anybody, but for my people, Black people. Please bless them to love themselves enough to start fighting back in any way, because nobody should be oppressed like this. Nobody should be treated like this. And God, I know that you know, and God, give us the courage in 2021, if anybody's being oppressed, to be able to destroy their oppressor. And God, 2020 was something. 2021, we pray. We pray We pray it's better than 2020.
Young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
I have the experience with major corporations, like my particular experience with Beam Centauri. It was great in the beginning. It's great for us to work for them. It is not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauri and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the right numbers. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies.
And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this. And it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him. But he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN, is keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out. Man. And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this, and in the studio, he said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pip them out to my
50 posting a sweet picture of him and Drew on Instagram, but the caption tells a different story.
I have a lot of fun.
Here I am keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore show, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house.
Tupac and Biggie. I think both of these dudes were assassinated in some kind of way. More Biggie than Tupac. I think Tupac might got killed by a dude that they, had an incident with earlier that day. But Biggie's just seems a little JFK. Governmental to me.
Yo, man, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he slapped his mother. And I was like, he did what?
Yo, I did it. Talking about he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts.
Cassie, I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
Decided to do the book because I'm not a rapper, obviously, or anything like that. But I've been in the business and been around the business. I mean,
In the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, he was, like the first 3-4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being
A new civil lawsuit claims Sean Diddy Combs repeatedly passed off dancer and adult film actress Adria English to be by partygoers during events at his New York and Miami houses between 2006 and 2009.
Puppy's like
Oh shit, man. What'd he say?
To describe Puppy in one word is it's jaw sore. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah.
What are you doing? Just having a little drink before my car picks me up. Where are you going? I'm gonna go to join Diddy. He's doing that. Rick Ross is doing a little concert this afternoon. Really? Honestly, they get bigger. No, I just lifted this bra up. It's like night and day. I need to have my boobs sitting up at this you do level at all times. They were like down to here. That's life-changing. Life-changing, but it gives me back fat. Gotta pick or choose your battles. That's what I learned in my life. Yeah. So why do you care to go to this? Because I was invited and I think it would be fun. When are you gonna act your own age? This like rap crew, like Rick Ross and Diddy. Do you think this is like your crowd? I know a thing or two about rap music. Who is the boss? Me? No.
I tell you what, Puppy. Your life is in danger. Because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in. So, you know they're going to get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip-hop and for our community, of our people. I turn myself in. Sometimes you gotta face the music. That's most of the time. And I'm gonna give you some real advice. 2 quick things. You gotta make a decision. When you go to prison, either you're gonna be standing up pissing or squatting sitting down pissing. I advise you to try to take the first one, because you know if you're squatting pissing on the seat, you know what that means. Oh yeah, by the way, do not do your time going by Brother Love. Brother Love is not a good code name for prison. I'm out.
What they're looking for, because it was going on the premises of sex, they're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage. Context. Like they in a act. That's what they're looking for. So now, they're gonna go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird fetishes that they got little kids or little girls or something like that in any kind of pictures or any kind of photos that they took out of there.
Pretty crazy. 14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to puppy camp?
Hell no.
See? We're actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra. I was actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say.
What they're looking for, because it was going on the premises of sex, they're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage.
And yet nobody said, but did he get arrested finally and get the book ready to be thrown at his very, very, very dancing feet? They're going to be his feet with that law book.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh, yes, he's glittering.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Yeah. Well, now, when we come back, we're going to talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right? We'll be right back with more right after this.
And that Nikki recorded that at the Freak Off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on me.
Arrest of a former SU basketball walk-on player, Brendan Paul, who's part, police say, of a trafficking investigation of rap mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs. Paul is accused in court documents of being Combs' drug mule.
LeBron James comments on P. Diddy getting arrested and basically saying that he had a weird feeling today was the day the feds will actually catch up to Diddy. I guess we can all confirm that LeBron James was the anonymous tipster that gave him. No. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a glass of water, y'all. This is nasty work. Y'all remember before a couple months ago that we saw that LeBron James was saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Some people will say that LeBron James should go to jail. Chill out, y'all, alright? We all know that this is a troll post. Well, it is actually true that P. Diddy did go to jail, though. But I mean, about LeBron James' whole situation is crazy, and that's lies. But it's still funny just to see that. Maybe, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the whole P. Diddy situation and LeBron James. But you Ray Snow, what's up? I'm not.
Kiala, about Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. Diddy, spinning. I mean, this guy is a master promoter, okay? And the allegation is that Combs aided and abetted his son in this attack.
This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles, physically assaulting Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically.
Made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. Right. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. Right. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. Right. You know what I mean? It's between me and him. And you know, that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New York is commenting on me shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen it. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So yes, I did say Thug Life was there. Yes, I bowed out, all of that. But when they said that, they breathed new life in me. Yeah. And Thug Life not only became a rap group, but it became a way of life for life for me. Okay. Because they disrespected me, my name, my family, what I had been through. They said that I couldn't be in pain. Yeah. I could not feel, I could not be heard.
Is there still a beef going on with you and Biggie?
It was never a beef. It's only a difference in opinion. Right. To me, if I my homeboy should have gave me the best advice I could ever give from anybody. He said, when people ask him if he's beefing with Bad Boy, with Puffy, he says like me going to a playground and picking on a little kid.
Right.
That's like me being mad at my little brother because he getting cash now. No, I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at my little brother when he don't respect me.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a bitch you got on the block. I'm your big.
It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this. And yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got charges and everything on him. But he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out. Man. And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this. Yo, man, I should have saw, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. That ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on.
Hey, speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I was here. No,
it's all about love, though. That's not true.
You really heard that? No.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this?
I see you always gallivanting around to all these trips that Kim and I aren't invited on.
You wouldn't pick up for the weekend and leave your kids? You don't have help on the weekends.
I'm not saying I want to go.
Oh, dis.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber.
So far,
French
so good.
Montana.
Do you even know half the people you're naming?
No.
Are you drinking, Chloe?
No.
You have to get these margaritas
Chloe,
out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah,
last night. She didn't go to bed.
I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't? I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court.
Oh, you're just so little.
Like my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely.
Sex trafficking, interstate transportation. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs threatened and coerced victims to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal.
Aubrey O'Day isn't holding back her thoughts on Sean Diddy Combs' bombshell legal troubles. Aubrey noted in a social media post that she feels hope that Diddy's case marks a long-awaited turning point, writing, "The purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for women all over the world, not just me. Things are finally changing."
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. Combs had been living there for several weeks. A person with knowledge of the investigation told NBC News the arrest was based on a sealed indictment brought by the Southern District of New York. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
I want you to party with me for your birthday, man. We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party. No, but me and you ain't never really partied.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Feel like,
well, we still have some time to go, you know, I can blow it here.
Okay.
I'm gonna inspire. When I had nothing in me to give. Like, I let one human being make me so low that, like, I didn't even remember who I was. I was scared to get in the studio. Like, I didn't believe in myself. All of a sudden, in Miami, I started catching a vibe as soon as I went to Miami. Like, as soon as I changed locations, started catching a vibe. And then one day I got the vibe, it's time to go to New York. And you were there and you saw what was happening and it started being incredible. Coco Chanel, Miami, Good Form. All of those things just started as mumbles in the studio in New York.
The first time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, "I want to sing for you."
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, "You know, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way."
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room
We
somewhere.
were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, "Listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts," or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of manager he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, "Yeah," or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, "Look, part of this is PR"?
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with this is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher, is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man. Come on.
Say it. I've been to a couple Diddy parties. Now, I'm risking a lot by saying this. I've been to lots of parties. I've been to Jamie Foxx. I've been with Snoop, T.I. Like, I've been to lots of places. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of big names. There was an artist there who said, "Hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here." And I was like, "What? You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning." And I was like, Now, my pride kicked in like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? Well, it's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio. And I'm headed back upstairs to like the main area where everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out. And the music changed. It was like really hard and heavy at first. And then, you know, like jam and dancing music. And it was a little softer. You know, it was a little more sensual when I came out the studio and started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. And on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it hard and heavy. And man, and I was like, oh, you know, my brain, I'm thinking, well, you know, this celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay, it's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not. But why they felt that comfortable, I don't know. Maybe the invite list, they was like, yeah, all these people. I don't know. I'm shocked.
You put my bag.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag.
Daddy, I like when you
right
scrambling
here,
and scraping.
No,
I like that.
It's no surprise that Leonardo DiCaprio is at this party. We've been joking for years that the Titanic star only dates young women. That being said, Leonardo DiCaprio is involved in this disgusting case in a way that other celebrities are not. Why does Diddy think Justin Bieber needs to be at all of his parties? Just recently, this video came out that shows Leonardo DiCaprio having fun at a Diddy party while wearing a face cap.
The person that's #1 on that invitation list.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'll break it down for you, but we need to go back to that first video and dissect it again. New footage of DiCaprio goes viral. It all began with a video that resurfaced at the worst possible moment. The timing couldn't have been worse, as both Leonardo DiCaprio and Diddy Combs were caught in the eye of the storm when it came to media attention. A leaked video from Diddy's 50th birthday party began circulating online. This wasn't just any party, it was the party of the year, attended by A-listers and elite celebrities who made up the backbone of Hollywood. The video, however, did not capture the classy scene that the world expected from such an event. Instead, it captured something strange. As the music thumped, Leonardo DiCaprio was seen awkwardly dancing with a small crowd in the background. Apparently, you could tell he was disconnected from the rhythm. The footage was especially troubling for fans who had idolized the actor for years. It wasn't a casual, carefree celebrity dance moment. There was more to it. In the video, DiCaprio can be seen grooving to Bobby Brown's every little step with what many described as dad-like moves, punched over and waving his arms while his much younger girlfriend Camila Morrone looked on. Now, it wasn't just his awkward movements, but the vibe of the party itself. There was an air of forced enthusiasm which people picked up on instantly. Fans took to social media sharing comments that ranged from amused to shocked, with some even expressing that they felt embarrassed at first glance. One might think it was just another moment caught on camera that should have stayed private. However, as more people watched and reshared the footage, there was a growing sense that this was bigger than just a viral video. The whispers began. Why did DiCaprio seem so uneasy? What was really happening at Diddy's party? DiCaprio's name had already been entangled in Diddy's controversies earlier in the decade. Diddy had publicly named DiCaprio as his favorite party guest in a 2017 interview. When asked about the guest he'd want most at his famous white parties, Diddy didn't hesitate. Leonardo DiCaprio, he said with enthusiasm that painted DiCaprio as a central figure in his extravagant celebrations. This statement, innocent as it may have seemed at the time, took on a different tone in 2024. Fans and media alike began to recontextualize DiCaprio's involvement in Diddy's notorious parties, especially in light of rumors about Diddy's freak-off parties. These were no ordinary gatherings. People gossiped about them in entertainment circles, describing them as wild and excessive events, often marked by troubling activities. The rumors connected Diddy's legendary white parties to these freak-offs, suggesting that behind the wealth and luxury was something much darker. The resurfaced footage of DiCaprio Diddy's 50th party only added fuel to the fire. Twitter exploded with comments questioning the actor's involvement. One user wrote, "Be birds of the same feather flock together," while another noted, "It's disgusting now that we know what happens in his parties." The viral reaction reflected how deeply the public's perception of DiCaprio was being influenced by his association with Diddy. But the real turning point came when older allegations against Diddy began to resurface, specifically the rumors of parties at his white parties. These rumors were never confirmed but always lingered in the Background now: with the viral video, these allegations were taking center stage once again, dragging DiCaprio along with them. Diddy's white parties were legend in the 90s and early 2000s, known for their exclusive guest lists and lavish settings. DiCaprio was a regular at these events, mingling with celebrities like LeBron James, Jay-Z, and Jennifer Lopez. Now he wasn't just another face in the crowd, he was one of Diddy's go-to guests, someone who was seen as part of the inner circle. The public's attention was drawn to the fact that DiCaprio had been involved in these parties for decades, raising questions about what he might have seen or participated in. More than that, Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, which were rumored to include explicit acts and questionable behavior, were reportedly connected to the high-profile white party. Speculation grew as people began to question just how deep DiCaprio's involvement with these events went. While there was no direct evidence linking him to the more scandalous aspects of Diddy's parties, the whispers were enough to cast a shadow over his reputation. As the footage continued to spread online, more people started to weigh in. Leo is done for considering he only dates 18-year-olds. One user tweeted, "You know he was on some weird." At Diddy's parties, the video of DiCaprio dancing awkwardly at Diddy's party became more than just a meme. It became a symbol of his possible involvement in the darker side of Hollywood's elite social scene. DiCaprio remained silent in the days following the video's viral spread. It was clear, though, that his name was being drawn into a web of allegations and controversy that had previously stayed in the shadows. His attendance at Diddy's parties had never raised much concern before, but now, in the wake of the video, everything was being re-examined. One thing was certain: the footage of Leonardo DiCaprio at Diddy's birthday party had reigned in public interest in the rumored activities that took place at these events. The video had opened the floodgates, and people were now questioning the actor's involvement in Diddy's parties. Going back decades, what had once been seen as an innocent party circuit was now being scrutinized under a harsh new light. It's unfortunate that DiCaprio, once celebrated for his acting talent and environmental efforts, has become entangled in a much darker narrative. However, the real gist lies in what we're about to reveal next. Legal indictments against Diddy. In November 2023, Sean Diddy Combs was indicted on multiple charges, including trafficking and racketeering, following several civil lawsuits against him. This indictment wasn't just a shock to the public, it sent ripples through the celebrity world, implicating many who had been connected to Diddy in one way or another. The accusation stemmed from years of alleged criminal activities, and now the music mogul was facing what could be his downfall. But how did it come to this? The indictment came as part of a 14-page legal document that outlined in disturbing detail how Diddy had orchestrated what many now referred to as freak-offs. This weird term was used to describe his infamous parties, where women were allegedly coerced into participating in illegal sexual activities. According to sources, Diddy's inner circle was deeply involved in these events, and the charges against him suggested that his operation had been meticulously planned, involving multiple layers of criminal activity. The 14-page indictment wasn't the only legal document that painted a dark picture of Diddy's past. In fact, it was part of a much larger collection of court records that had been slowly accumulating over the years. A 73-page court document from an older case, which had mostly gone under the radar, revealed chilling details about Diddy's association with organized crime and drug trafficking. According to these records, Diddy had deep ties to several drug lords and had been involved in the distribution of drugs, including cocaine and ketamine, at his parties. These revelations not only threatened to destroy Diddy's public image, but also raised questions about the nature of his famous parties. For years, these gatherings had been celebrated as the height of luxury and exclusivity in Hollywood, but now it seemed that there had been something much darker lurking beneath the surface. The indictment suggested that the freak-offs weren't just isolated incidents, but rather part of a larger pattern of behavior orchestrated by Diddy himself. As the legal proceedings began, it became clear that Diddy's defense was in for an uphill battle. One of the key issues in the case was the testimony of several women who claimed to have been coerced into participating in illegal activities at Diddy's parties. These women, many of whom had remained silent for years, were now coming forward with their stories, describing in harrowing detail the things they had witnessed and experienced. What made the situation even worse for Diddy was the fact that his bail was denied. The court cited concerns over his potential flight risk and the possibility of violent behavior if released. Prosecutors argued that Diddy had both the means and the motive to flee the country. Given the seriousness of the charges against him, with his vast resources and connections, there was a very real fear that he could disappear before the trial even began. But the bail denial wasn't just about flight risk. There was also the issue of Diddy's alleged violent tendencies. Several incidents from his past were brought up in court, including claims that he had used intimidation and threats to keep people silent. One incident in particular from the mid-2000s involved a man known only as Lil Rod. In the case of Lil Rod and Mr. Combs, the accuser alleged that Diddy had assaulted him after a business deal went south. While the case had been settled out of court, it painted a picture of a man who was willing to use violence to get his way. The revelations about Diddy's involvement in the drug trade also complicated his defense. According to prosecutors, Diddy had been working closely with several high-profile drug lords, helping to distribute massive amounts of cocaine and ketamine at his parties. This wasn't just casual drug use. This was a full-blown drug trafficking operation with Diddy at the center. The court documents outlined how drugs were regularly supplied to partygoers, with Diddy using his influence and connections to avoid law enforcement scrutiny. The indictment also touched on Diddy's ties to organized crime. Over the years, rumors had circulated about Diddy's connection to the underworld, but these rumors had always been dismissed as mere speculation. Now, however, there was concrete evidence to suggest that Diddy had been working with some of the most dangerous criminals in the country. According to the court documents, Diddy's involvement with organized crime went beyond just drug trafficking. There were also allegations that he had used these connections to intimidate rivals and silence critics. As the legal case against Diddy continued to unfold, it became clear that this wasn't just about sex trafficking, it was about a much larger network of criminal activity. The charges of racketeering suggested that Diddy had been operating a criminal enterprise for years, using his influence and wealth to shield himself from the consequences of his actions. And now, with the indictment in place, it seemed that his empire was finally beginning to crumble. But Diddy wasn't going down without a fight. His legal team, one of the best in the country, began to mount a vigorous defense, arguing that the charges against him were exaggerated, and based on the testimony of unreliable witnesses, they claimed that the women coming forward were doing so for financial gain, hoping to cash in on Diddy's downfall. But the sheer number of allegations, combined with the overwhelming evidence presented in the court documents, made it difficult for Diddy's defense to gain any traction. Throughout all of this, Leonardo DiCaprio's name continued to be mentioned, although there was no direct evidence linking DiCaprio to any of the illegal activities described in the indictment. His association with Diddy's parties had become a major talking point. Social media was flooded with comments speculating about DiCaprio's involvement, with many people questioning whether the actor had been aware of what was happening at these events. One particularly harsh comment on Twitter read, "If Leo was really Diddy's favorite guest, you can bet he knew what was going on." Makes sense considering the age group he prefers. The sentiment was echoed by many others, as DiCaprio's name continued to be dragged through the mud simply by virtue of his association with Diddy. As Diddy's legal battle raged on, the public perception of both men began to shift. What had once been seen as a classy Hollywood friendship was now being viewed with suspicion, as people began to question the true nature of their relationship following a grand jury indictment on multi-charges including trafficking, racketeering, and other serious offenses. Sean Diddy Combs was eventually arrested on Monday, September 16, 2024. Details surrounding Diddy's arrest on the morning of Tuesday, September 17, 2024, New York City woke up to the shocking news that Sean Diddy Combs had been arrested. Reports revealed that Diddy was taken into custody the previous night at around 8:30 p.m. at the Park Hyatt, New York on 57th Street by officers from Homeland Security Investigations. This wasn't just a random arrest or a minor run-in with the law. It was tied to serious allegations, namely his involvement in sex trafficking. The arrest came after years of rumors, legal battles, and silent whispers, but the dramatic nature of the event captivated the public like never before. The arrest occurred in the late hours, with federal agents moving swiftly and discreetly to apprehend Diddy at Park Hyatt Hotel. The move was strategic, designed to catch him off guard and minimize the potential for chaos. News outlets quickly picked up the story, and within hours, images and videos of Diddy and handcuffs began circulating online. The footage was especially striking. One of the most powerful figures in the entertainment world was surrounded by a group of agents, his head lowered as decades of allegations seemed to catch up with him. One bystander's video clip from outside the Park Hyatt Hotel went viral almost immediately. It captured Diddy being escorted by law enforcement, his face expressionless and unreadable as cameras flashed wildly around him. Twitter and Instagram exploded with reactions, with some fans expressing shock, others voicing outrage, and many declaring it was about time the truth came to us. Details trickled in. It became clear that this wasn't just about one or two isolated incidents. The charges stemmed from an investigation that had been ongoing for several years, and the evidence against Diddy was reportedly extensive. Sources close to the investigation suggested that law enforcement had been quietly building their case for a long time, waiting for the right moment to strike. They had accumulated witness testimonies, phone records, and even troubling video footage that allegedly implicated Diddy in orchestrating sex trafficking operations that spanned across state lines. The main focus of the charges centered on what was commonly referred to as Diddy freak-offs. These parties had long been the subject of rumors, but now they were at the core of the federal case against him. According to legal documents, Diddy had allegedly organized and hosted multiple gatherings where women were coerced into performing illegal sexual acts. Some of these events were said to have taken place at his luxurious residences in New York and Los Angeles, while others were rumored to have been held at more remote locations, including private islands. What made the arrest even more stunning was how it coincided with the viral footage of Leonardo DiCaprio from Diddy's birthday party. Just a few months earlier, the public couldn't help but draw connections between DiCaprio's awkward dance and Diddy's now confirmed legal troubles. Fans were left wondering, had DiCaprio been completely in the dark, or was there more to his involvement with Diddy's social circles? Speculation ran rampant across social media. One Instagram user commented, "If Leo was there when this was all going down, it's hard to believe he didn't know anything." Others pointed out that DiCaprio had distanced himself from the hip-hop mogul in recent years, though the public didn't yet know how deep his ties to Diddy's notorious lifestyle went. After the arrest, Diddy was held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, one of New York City's most infamous federal holding facilities. His legal team immediately filed for bail, but the court denied it, citing Diddy as a flight risk and a danger to potential witnesses. The prosecution argued that given his vast wealth, resources, and international connections, there was a real possibility that Diddy could flee the country to avoid facing trial. His private jets and multiple properties around the globe made it all too easy for him to disappear. If he wanted to. Inside the courtroom, Diddy's lawyers tried to paint a different picture. They argued that their client had been unfairly targeted due to his celebrity status and that the allegations were being blown out of proportion. This is nothing more than a witch hunt, his lead attorney claimed. In a press conference, Mr. Combs is a man of great integrity, and we will prove his innocence in court, he further stated. Yet, despite these proclamations, the pieces of overwhelming evidence against Diddy were difficult to ignore. Court documents revealed that multiple women had come forward with testimonies detailing their experiences at his parties. These testimonies, combined with financial records and communications, made for a compelling case. As more details emerged, it became clear that the sex trafficking charges were just the tip of the iceberg. The indictment also accused Diddy of other crimes, including drug distribution and involvement in organized crime. Some reports claimed that Diddy had used his influence in the music industry to conceal illegal activities for years, leveraging his wealth and connections to keep authorities at bay. The revelation that Diddy had allegedly trafficked drugs like cocaine and ketamine during his infamous parties only added another layer to the complex web of accusations. In the days following the arrest, media outlets scrambled to cover every detail of the unfolding scandal. Late-night talk shows, podcasts, and YouTube channels buzz with speculation and analysis. Celebrities who had once been close to Diddy remained conspicuously silent, distancing themselves from the scandal. The entertainment industry, which had long celebrated Diddy as a mogul and cultural icon, was now strangely quiet. You could sense the weight of what was happening. This silence spoke volumes. Meanwhile, fans of DiCaprio were torn about the incident. Many were confused about how to reconcile their admiration for the actor with his long-standing ties to Diddy. As one fan tweeted, "I love Leo, but his silence right now is deafening." Others defended DiCaprio, suggesting that his presence at Diddy's parties didn't necessarily mean he was involved in or even aware of the illegal activities. "We can't jump to conclusions." Another fan posted, "Not everyone at these parties was in on the dark stuff." By the end of the first week following the arrest, the story had become an international sensation. News outlets from London to Sydney to Tokyo were running headlines about Diddy's downfall and the implications for those in his inner circle. The viral footage of his arrest continued to dominate social media, with memes, GIFs, and reaction videos flooding the internet. One particularly viral clip on TikTok showed someone comparing Diddy's arrest with old footage of him bragging about his wealth and influence. The caption read, "All the money in the world can't save you now." As Diddy awaits trial, public opinion continues to turn against him. While DiCaprio has yet to make an official statement, his silence only fuels further speculation. The story is far from over, but one thing is clear: Diddy's arrest has changed everything. What had once been quiet rumors and secret allegations has now become an undeniable reality, and the consequences for those around him, including DiCaprio, are just beginning to unfold. But if you think that's all there is to the allegations, just wait to hear what we have to say about him next. Allegations of abuse and personal relationships. As did he fact a more complicated legal situation. Attention also turned to his personal relationships, where disturbing allegations of abuse surfaced from former partners. Cassie Ventura, one of Diddy's most high-profile ex-girlfriends, shocked the world in 2023 when she publicly accused him of physical, emotional, and psychological abuse during their long-term relationship. Cassie's claims painted a disturbing picture of a man who used control, manipulation, and violence to dominate her for years, adding another layer to the controversy surrounding the music mogul. Cassie, a singer and model, was romantically involved with Diddy for over a decade, from 2007 to 2018. Although their relationship seemed perfect on the outside, Cassie later revealed that it was anything but behind closed doors. In an exclusive interview in 2023, she described incidents of physical violence, controlling behavior, and psychological torment that left her feeling trapped. There were days when I didn't recognize myself. She confessed, I wasn't allowed to make my own decisions. It was like living in a prison with no walls. One of the most shocking accusations involved an incident in 2016. When CCAS claimed Diddy physically assaulted her after she attempted to end their relationship. According to Cassie, Diddy became enraged and violently attacked her, leaving her fearful for her life. Although she initially kept the incident private, she later identified it as the turning point that led her to finally leave the relationship for good. I realized then that I needed to get out for myself, for my future, she said in a later interview. These allegations contrasted sharply with Diddy's public image, where he had often presented himself as a loving and protective partner. In a 2018 interview on The Wendy Williams Show, Diddy openly discussed his relationship with Cassie, painting a picture of mutual love and respect. Cassie and I were soulmates. We've had our ups and downs, but that's what makes us strong, Diddy remarked during the interview. At the time, fans took his words at face value, seeing them as more proof of his charm and charismatic personality. However, as more details of Cassie's experience came to light, it became increasingly difficult to match Diddy's public persona with the private reality. Cassie had described Cassie's bravery in speaking out against Diddy spark a broader conversation about domestic abuse within high-profile relationships. Many applauded her for her courage, while others expressed disbelief that such a beloved public figure could be capable of the alleged abuse. The scandal significantly damaged Diddy's reputation even before the legal charges of 2024 were brought against him. Meanwhile, Cassie wasn't the only one to accuse Diddy of abusive behavior. Another ex-partner, Kim Porter, who tragically passed away in 2018, had also made troubling allegations during their on-again, off-again relationship. Porter, the mother of 3 of Diddy's children, had been a major part of his life for a long time, and the media closely followed their relationship. However, while their relationship was often portrayed romantically, Porter's memoir revealed a different story. Her memoir, titled Kim's Lost Words: A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, was published after her death in 2020 and exposed troubling truths about her relationship with Diddy. In the memoir, Porter described instances of emotional manipulation, jealousy, and controlling behavior on Diddy's part. According to Porter, Diddy had often forced her into uncomfortable situations, including making her watch him engage in explicit acts with other women. These revelations sent shockwaves through the media, as Porter had previously kept these details out of the public eye. The allegations in her memoir, coupled with Cassie's own testimony, painted a picture of a man who used his power and influence to control those closest to him. Porter's memoir also touched on the long-term psychological effects of Diddy's behavior on her and their children. She described how the constant presence of other women, coupled with Diddy's emotional detachment, had taken a toll on her mental health. There were times when I felt like I was losing my mind, Porter wrote. I loved him, but I couldn't keep living like that. Her account showed the emotional trauma that often accompanies abusive relationships, where the abuser uses both physical force and psychological manipulation to maintain control. Meanwhile, the abuse allegations against Diddy did not stop there. Other women, including several unnamed sources, began to come forward with their own stories. One particularly disturbing accusation came from a former dancer named Rachel Kennedy, who alleged that Diddy coerced her into participating in one of his infamous freak-off parties. According to Kennedy, the experience left her feeling violated and traumatized. She claimed that Diddy had used his influence and power to pressure her into engaging in activities she was uncomfortable with, threatening to destroy her career if she did not comply. As Kennedy's story spread across social media, public outrage grew. Many people began to question how such abusive behavior could have gone unchecked for so long. How could someone like Diddy, who had always been a big figure in the music industry, be hiding such darkness? These new abuse allegations suggested that there was a much darker side to him, one that had been kept hidden from the public for years. Diddy was seen as untouchable, a man whose wealth and power kept him from facing the consequences of his actions. Now, however, it seems that this image is falling apart as more details about Diddy's legal problems and alleged actions have come to light. The public backlash has been swift. Many celebrities have spoken out about the controversy, with some distancing themselves from Diddy and others making vague comments. Wait until you hear some of these shocking reactions. Celebrity reactions and public backlash. The arrest of Sean Diddy Combs has drawn many reactions from fans and celebrities, with some even revisiting past lyrics from rappers like Eminem for possible hints about this event. Eminem has never been shy about addressing controversial figures in the entertainment industry, including Diddy. In his 2018 track Kill Shot, a disc aimed at Machine Gun Kelly, Eminem mentions Diddy in a provocative line that left fans speculating. The lyric references the long-standing conspiracy theories surrounding Diddy and the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur, with Eminem rapping that Diddy put out the hit that got Pac killed. Though the line was meant as a shock factor, it reignited discussions about Diddy's involvement in old controversies. Since Diddy's arrest, Eminem's fans have been digging through his lyrics, wondering if he may have predicted some of Diddy's current issues, but while Eminem himself hasn't commented his fans keep revisiting his tracks, finding new meanings in his words. Aubrey O'Day, a former member of Danity Kane, felt a sense of relief after Diddy's arrest. She's been vocal about the way she was treated while working with him, and this felt like a win for her. She took to social media, saying today is a win for women all over the world, not just me, feeling like justice was finally being served. Aubrey has long criticized Diddy for his actions, and now his arrest seems to validate her past struggles. 50 Cent, always quick to take shots at Diddy, wasted no time poking fun. After the news broke, he posted a cheeky photo on Instagram referencing a strange detail from the indictment about Diddy's collection of lubricants. He joked, "Here I am hanging out with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at home," while funny hinted at a bigger issue, his discomfort with Diddy, suggesting that some people might be staying quiet to keep their own involvement in Diddy's parties hidden. Meanwhile, Kevin Hart, who has been friendly with Diddy, has stayed silent. This is surprising to fans who are used to Kevin weighing in on big topics, but maybe he's holding back due to his own experiences with public controversies, making him more cautious about speaking out. Lil Boozy reacted with shock and a bit of doubt. In a live video, he shared that he was surprised by the news, but questioned the timing of the arrest, hinting that more big names could be involved in as things unfold. His blunt reaction connected with fans who are just as confused about what's happening. Meanwhile, Charlamagne tha God took a more serious tone on the Tube Breakfast Club. He stated this could be a turning point for the music industry, especially in dealing with abuses of power. He emphasized the importance of holding powerful figures accountable and believes this moment could spark more conversations about justice in the entertainment world.